I'm 71 years old, and if you'd asked me 3 years ago if I was happy, I would have said yes without even thinking about it. I would have listed my accomplishments, my career, my house, the respect I'd earned. I would have told you I did everything right. But here's the truth. I was lying. To you, to myself, to everyone. Because at 68 years old, sitting in a hospital bed at 2 in the morning with wires coming out of my chest, a nurse asked me one simple question, and I couldn't answer it. That question changed everything. And if you're watching this right now feeling successful but somehow empty, this question is going to wreck you the same way it wrecked me. But it might also save your life. Let me take you back to that night. February 14th, 2022, Valentine's Day. Ironic, isn't it? I'm in the emergency room, heart attack. Not a massive one, but enough to make the doctors use words like warning and lifestyle changes. My wife is in the waiting room. My kids are on their way, and I'm lying there staring at the ceiling tiles, counting the little holes in them because what else are you supposed to do? Then this nurse comes in. Young woman, maybe 30. She's checking my vitals, adjusting the IV, doing her job, and she says something. Not to me, really. More like thinking out loud. She says, "It's Valentine's Day and I'm stuck here. But at least I'm helping people. At least I matter today." And I don't know why, but something about that hit me. This woman, working a holiday shift, exhausted, probably underpaid, and she finds meaning in it. She matters. She helps people. So I ask her, "Do you like your job?" And she stops, looks at me, really looks at me, and she says, "I love it. Every single day I get to help someone. What about you? Do you love what you do?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Here's what I should have said. I was a financial consultant for 43 years. I made great money. I advised Fortune 500 companies. I wore expensive suits and ate at expensive restaurants and drove expensive cars. Here's what I actually felt. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because the truth was, I didn't love it. I never loved it. I just did it. For 4 decades, I showed up, did the work, cashed the checks, and told myself I was successful. But that nurse, making a fraction of what I made, had something I'd never had. Purpose. You want to know how I ended up in that hospital bed? Not the medical reason. The real reason. I did what I was supposed to do. I went to college because that's what smart kids did. I got a corporate job because that's where the money was. I married a good woman because that's what adults did. I had kids because that's what married couples did. I bought a house in a good neighborhood because that's what successful people did. Every single decision was based on someone else's definition of success. My father worked in a factory for 30 years and died 6 months after retirement. Before he died, he told me, "Don't end up like me, make something of yourself." So I did. I made money, I made a name, I made a life that looked perfect on paper, but I never asked myself the question that mattered. Am I actually living, or am I just existing? And the answer, for most of my life, was existing. I was on autopilot. Wake up, work, come home, watch TV, sleep, repeat. Weekends were for chores and catching up on the reports I'd brought home in my briefcase. Vacations were rare, and when we took them, I spent half the time thinking about the deals I was missing back at the office. My kids would ask me to play. "Not now. Daddy's busy with work." I'd be sitting at the dining room table with papers spread everywhere, a calculator in one hand and a cold cup of coffee in the other. My wife would suggest we take a trip, maybe next year when this merger is done. My friends would invite me out. "I've got an early meeting Monday. I need to prepare." I told myself I was building something, providing for my family, being responsible. But really? I was hiding. Hiding behind busyness, hiding behind obligations, hiding behind the newspaper I'd read cover to cover every morning instead of talking to my wife at breakfast, hiding behind late nights at the office when everyone else had gone home, hiding behind business trips and client dinners and golf outings that were networking opportunities. I convinced myself that if I just worked a little harder, achieved a little more, bought a little bigger house, then I'd feel something. But that day never came. Here's what I remember from my 40s. Almost nothing. I remember the promotions. I remember the bonuses. I remember the day I paid off the mortgage. But I don't remember my daughter's middle school graduation. I know I was there because there's a photo, but I can't tell you what she wore or what she said or how she looked at me. I don't remember the last time I told my wife I loved her before it became just a habit. Love you, bye. 700 times. 700 meaningless repetitions. I don't remember the last conversation I had with my father before the stroke took his words away. I remember thinking, I'll call him this weekend, but I didn't, and then it was too late. Here's what kills me. I remember every quarterly earnings report from 2007, every single one, but I can't remember the last time I laughed so hard I cried. I climbed the ladder, I checked every box. I did everything society told me to do, and I woke up at 68 years old, in a hospital bed, with a resume full of accomplishments and a heart full of nothing. You know what the worst part is? I wasn't even miserable. I was just numb, baseline empty, going through the motions, comfortable in my cage, until that nurse asked me if I loved what I did. And the silence that followed was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. That question broke something open in me, because I realized I'd spent my entire life trying to impress people who didn't matter, chasing approval from strangers, building a life that looked good from the outside but felt hollow on the inside. And the saddest part? I see you doing the same thing. I see you in the comments, talking about your grind, your hustle, your 5-year plan, and I want to reach through this screen and shake you and say, wake up. Because here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. Achievement is not fulfillment. You can have everything and feel nothing. You can win the race and realize you ran in the wrong direction. You can reach the top of the ladder and discover it's leaning against the wrong wall. And by the time you figure it out, you might be 71 years old, sitting in front of a camera, begging strangers on the internet not to make the same mistake. The question that nurse asked me wasn't complicated, but it shattered my entire worldview. Do you love what you do? Not, are you good at it? Not, does it pay well? Not, does it impress people? Do you love it? Does it make you feel alive? Does it matter? And if the answer is no, then what the hell are you doing? After the heart attack, something shifted. I retired. Not because I was forced to, but because I finally gave myself permission to stop pretending. And for the first time in my life, I asked myself, what do I actually want to do with the time I have left? The answer surprised me. I wanted to help people, not in some grand, impressive way, not building a charity or starting a foundation, just helping, one person at a time. So I started volunteering, at first at a local food bank, then at a community center, helping seniors with their taxes and finances. The same skills I'd used to make corporations richer, now being used to help real people. And something incredible happened. I felt joy, real, genuine, unfiltered joy. When an 80-year-old woman hugged me because I helped her avoid a scam. When a young couple told me I'd helped them buy their first house. When a veteran shook my hand and said, "Thank you for caring." Those moments didn't make me money. They didn't add to my resume. They didn't impress anyone, but they made me feel alive. For the first time in 50 years, I wasn't on autopilot. I was present. I was connected. I mattered. Not because of what I owned or achieved, but because of what I gave. So let me tell you what I wish someone had told me when I was your age. Stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop climbing ladders you don't want to be on. Stop postponing joy until you make it. Because you know what? You're never going to make it. There is no finish line. No amount of success will ever feel like enough if you're running the wrong race. Ask yourself the question, do I love what I do? Does my life have purpose? Am I actually living or am I just surviving in style? And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is information. It's your soul trying to tell you something. You don't need a heart attack to wake up. You don't need to wait until you're 71 to realize you've been sleepwalking through your life. You can wake up today, right now, this moment. Find something that matters, help someone, connect, be present. Stop performing for an invisible audience, because I promise you, Nobody's coming to your funeral to talk about your job title or your bank account. They're going to talk about how you made them feel, whether you were there, whether you cared. I'm 71 years old. I can't get back the decades I wasted. But I can tell you this, the last 3 years of my life, helping people, being present, living with intention, they've been worth more than the previous 68 combined. So I'm going to ask you the same question that nurse asked me. Do you love what you do? Does your life have meaning? If you died tomorrow, would you be satisfied with how you spent today? Think about it. Really think about it. Because time doesn't care about your plans. And one day, sooner than you think, you're going to run out of it. Don't let that day come with regrets. If this hit you the way it hit me, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment and tell me, what's your answer to the question? Are you living or are you just existing? And if you want more of these conversations, hit subscribe. Because I've got 71 years of mistakes to share with you, and maybe, just maybe, I can help you avoid making the same ones. Thank you for listening. Now go live.